Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast I share my real-world self-publishing and small business experience with you. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to like, comment, follow, share, and subscribe. Now let's get on with today's show. One of my regular blog readers asked if he has a self-published book on one platform, such as Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing or IngramSpark. Is it okay to publish on another one too? An additional question on the same post from another reader asked if there was a better option than Amazon KDP or Kindle Direct Publishing for self-publishing. And they're not alone. Every few days or so, I see a similar question in a large self-published author group I'm in, though that question usually centers around whether to do both IngramSpark and Kindle Direct Publishing. It appears they're not satisfied with the sales results they're achieving, so it's understandable why they're exploring additional self-publishing platforms. But does self-publishing your books on multiple platforms really multiply sales? Some authors explore alternative or additional platforms because they're frustrated with the limitations of their current platform. For example, lured by the hope that their book will be in bookstores, off they go to the likes of IngramSpark because it's part of the Ingram mega book distribution channel. Unfortunately, they may experience lower profit margins and royalties through IngramSpark. And because competition for bookstore shelf space is fierce, even for traditionally published books, they're not likely to get their book on bookstore shelves. Still others have unrealistic expectations of print quality or other production issues with their current platform, which stem from their own personal inexperience of publishing and printing. Variations in print quality among the popular self-publishing platforms is minor enough to be undetectable by most readers. Here's the biggest issue that self-published authors don't understand. Self-publishing on multiple platforms does not multiply your sales. In fact, it can multiply your effort and cost and confuse the sales process. Even non-KDP, non-Kindle Direct Publishing, self-publishing platforms such as IngramSpark, Lulu, and BookBaby all can give you the option to make your print book available on Amazon, which is what most authors want. Ebooks are another matter, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So if one of these non-Amazon platforms fulfills all your goals for your book, don't feel like you also have to self-publish your print book on KDP to get it on Amazon. But here's the deal. Authors get lower Amazon print book royalties from sales on Amazon through these non-KDP platforms. So this is what drives them to self-publish on both KDP and non-KDP platforms. I cheerfully told a self-published author that I had just bought his book on Amazon. He was a bit disappointed because even though he appreciated the sale, he said he would have made more if I would have purchased it directly through Lulu, where he self-published it. I felt terrible, but I'm hardwired to buy all my books on Amazon. The royalty authors make when customers buy their books on non-KDP, non-Amazon self-publishing sites can be lucrative. The royalty for paperback self-published through KDP is 60% less print cost. On Lulu, it's 80% less print cost. However, where do most people think to buy books these days? Amazon. According to a March 2019 Bloomberg.com article, Amazon's market share is 88.9% of all ebook unit sales, 42% of all physical book sales in all of retail, and 83.6% of e-reader device sales. Quoting the Wall Street Journal, University of Pennsylvania's Wharton Business School reported that Amazon commands 72% of new adult book title sales online and 49% of all new book unit sales. And these stats were from the pre-COVID-19 pandemic era, so I'll be anxious to see what the post-pandemic stats are. Authors must specifically steer readers to buy their books on non-Amazon sites to get those higher royalties. That is a huge marketing challenge that introduces friction into the buying process and could require more paid advertising and social media effort. That extra royalty from self-publishing and selling through a non-Amazon site could quickly get eaten up with these additional costs. When you self-publish a print book that you plan to distribute through retail channels, it will require an ISBN number, the International Standard Book Number. In the United States, R.R. Bowker is the ISBN registrar who compiles the Books in Print database, which logs all these ISBN numbers for reference by book retailers, schools, libraries when they need to locate and acquire books. That seems pretty straightforward until you decide to self-publish on more than one platform. Most self-publishing platforms offer their authors a free ISBN number to attach to the print edition of their books. So when authors use multiple platforms and decide to use the free ISBN number at each of them, there will be multiple ISBN entries for the same print book in the Books in Print database, and that causes confusion. The solution here is to purchase your own ISBN number for your print book edition and supply that number to each self-publishing platform you plan to use. Remember, too, that you need one ISBN number for each format of your book: print, ebook, although that's optional on Amazon and KDP, and audiobook. So those costs can escalate quickly. Kindle Direct Publishing or Smashwords. As those earlier Bloomberg reports show, Amazon is the dominant player in the e-book marketplace for both Kindle ebooks and the e-reader devices. That's why Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP, is the first choice for many self-published authors when it comes to ebooks. For the non-Amazon e-reading side, which would include Barnes & Noble's Nook, Walmart's Kobo, Overdrive, Apple Books, libraries, and much more, Smashwords handles a lion's share of the ebook publishing, according to Statista, with almost 72,000 ebook titles self-published in 2018. Smashwords tops that group, publishing more than twice the titles of its second-place non-Amazon competitor for ebooks, which is Lulu. So why not do both KDP and Smashwords? If having your self-published ebook on Amazon and other non-Amazon channels is important to you, you can do both KDP and Smashwords. Here's why I don't do both. I can't have my titles enrolled in Amazon KDP Select program if I choose to distribute them on Smashwords. Having your titles enrolled in KDP Select on Amazon means that your ebook has to be exclusive to KDP and Amazon. In exchange for that exclusivity, I get to have my titles available on Kindle Unlimited, and I can do free Kindle ebook promotions or countdown deals. And given the dominance of the Kindleverse, I'm sticking with KDP Select and Amazon for now. So if you want to do both KDP with Amazon and Smashwords, you'll need to self-publish on KDP under their regular non-exclusive distribution arrangement, which is the standard unless you enroll in KDP Select. Choose your primary self-publishing platform carefully, going with those that can best handle distribution of your book to your ideal reader audience. But remember that these services only handle distribution for you, not marketing. So the differences between them is really quite limited. The platform you should be most concerned about is your author platform. In other words, your fan base. Hope you found that helpful. If you did, please rate, review, and subscribe to The Heidi Thorne Show on whatever podcast platform you like to use. I'm on all the major ones: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Pick your favorite. I'm probably there. If you like the YouTube video better, just subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so you get an alert when a new video is up. I would appreciate it if you would share either the audio or the video with your friends on social media. My self-published books are all on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. All you have to do is search for my name, Heidi Thorne, and a list of all the available titles will be right there. If you'd like to connect with me, visit my website at HeidiThorne.com or connect with me on social at Instagram or TikTok at @HeidiThorne. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode. And in the meantime, have a great day.